because she said I was snoring and waking her up, but she kept waking me up. So I could, but she said she doesn't know how I go without 8 hours, 8 hours sleep, but it just happens.
You're a machine.
Yeah. We try to do what we can. All right, guys, we're going to try to be fast today because I have a meeting and a meeting and a meeting to do right today. I'm actually heading over to Josh's house to work on some new things that we're putting together. And then I've got another meeting after that and another one after that. A lot of great stuff happening. Of course, we all know Black Swan event, right? We had the Luna Black Swan event. And some people asked me then, what do you think? What's going on? Crypto went down for a little bit, came back up. We have this next Black Swan event, which was the FTX. To be honest with you guys, most of this was probably avoidable. We talked a little bit about last week about who we're putting our trust in, who's really building stuff. These geniuses, right? Now we've got a couple of them, Sam Bankman-Fried, and we've got Kwon Do, these geniuses that everybody puts on panels and builds up and all this other stuff. I think we really need to examine what they really are versus just the surface, which is what they're creating in momentum. We really need to be able to look behind the curtain. And hopefully this is going to bring a lot more transparency to the industry in this. There is a good side to this, guys. If you looked at companies of this magnitude in size, so you're talking about, I believe, Luna was a 30-something billion market cap. It goes away. It takes down Celsius. It takes down a few of the other ones. Now you have FTX. You're looking at possibly BlockFi, Genesis. Here's the good side of it is, and this is the part I want everybody to take away. Somehow, we're still at an $800 million or billion market cap. So the market is showing some resilience, right? So I was talking to somebody and they said, hey, I'm worried about USDT losing their peg. About a week ago, when the FTX first thing happened, it went down to 97, 98 cents. So it looked like it was going to break its peg. A few people showed it at 93. I think they were trying to manipulate the market and they were trying to break the peg. They were unable to do it, right? So USDT is holding well. BDO did an audit on the company. 58% of their money, their $68 billion, is in U.S. Treasuries, and then the rest are in other financial instruments. So one of the good things about this is it has brought out companies now saying, hey, here are assets that we have on the books. So Binance has come out and said, hey, we got $69 billion in assets. And X amount of it's in this currency, X amount in this, X amount in this. Yes, of their 69 billion, a good portion of that is in BUSD or BNB. You would assume that, but they have met a lot more outside of those two. Other exchanges now are doing this. So I'm going to give you guys a word of advice. If you are on an exchange, you should go look and see if your exchange has identified what their holdings are, how much crypto do they have that's not the customers, but their liquidity that they have to support and drive and move that forward. If you have one that has low liquidity, you may want to move to another exchange, right? But Kraken is putting out their numbers. OKEX, all of them over the next few weeks will start putting out numbers. What you want to find out is, are they self-declared numbers, or have they had some third-party organization look into it? If they have had a third-party organization, look at that. The good thing is BDO is one of the big accounting firms out there. Now in the US, you can only use Binance US. I don't know if they did it on that. This is Binance, the whole thing. Don't know if it in that 69 billion, it includes that. These are just determinations. I'm not telling you guys which way to go. I'm saying if you have money on an exchange right now, it is prudent to go figure out where it is. If you are worried, what you can do is get a Treasure wallet, and you can move all of your crypto onto your own hard wallet. And then it doesn't matter if exchanges collapse, right? You're not going to lose your funds. So those are your options right there for being able to do that and move that forward on there. We do have SAFUfied, where you can move them off of, into the hard wallets, but you have to make sure they're non-tax tokens. So like you could move BNB from there to SAFUfied wallet and it would be safe and not on an exchange there as well. That's another option, or BUSD, any of those you can move off if you're worried about that side of it. So someone had asked me, hey, Peter, are you staying in crypto with all the turmoil? Absolutely. I'm staying in crypto, right? It's not just the financial side of this to me. It's the fact that I believe the future of society is a decentralized, centralized mechanism that's in place. Right now, 99% of everything is centralized. I would love to see it, 70, 80% decentralized, 20, 30% centralized. And I believe that's a much better balance for the future of humanity as a whole, not just this generation, but the next generation and the next generation after that. I believe that the transparency that it offers, the ability to, the security, all the attributes of a blockchain future is going to make it happen. One of the neat things I think we're going to find here is with this FTX and with some of the other ones it's been pretty easy. So when like Enron and big things like that happen, by the way, guys, in the real world, these events have taken place before, right? Because I just mentioned Enron. Enron was in the gas and the oil business. Bernie Madoff had nothing to do with crypto, had nothing to do with it. It's humans, it's greed, it's business, it's all of that stuff put together, and it happens in crypto and outside of crypto. The great thing is about this is the Enron stuff, the Bernie Madoff stuff, these things, the collapse of Lehman, all of these things took years and years and years and years and years and years to unravel and figure things out. I'm pretty sure that the FTX thing, even though there's a lot of unanswered questions, it's a week or 2 weeks after. I believe over the next 6 months to a year, because of wallet addresses and because of the ability to track and look and find in blockchain and all that stuff. I think I'd talked about this once before. One of the people had talked about if these companies were on the blockchain and stuff, there's bankruptcies, these problems would be unraveled and figured out in 1/10 of the time, maybe 1/5 of the, or 20th of the time that it takes. And we'll get to see that in action. So I believe the market is showing resilience. There is the thing to watch is USDC and USDT. USDC is owned by Circle. Circle is a power player in the blockchain space, more on the centralized side, but they are the owner of USDC. Binance is on Paxil is BUSD. And then of course you have USDT. So really what to watch for to figure out, what's going on are those three stable coins, USDC, USDT, and BUSD. We know BUSD is probably one of the safer ones at this point because Binance has 69 billion in assets. I don't think they're going to let an asset that their name is on to fail. But again, you have to do your own research and move forward from there. So about Nexus and where we're headed, guys, and what's going on with us. We believe in the blockchain. We believe in a decentralized future. So we continue to every single day work on positioning TruBadger, SAFUfied, Insights, Catapult, CNP for when the bears go away and the bulls start to run again. And that's not going to show a lot of progress on the surface right now, right? It's like a duck paddling like crazy under the surface, and you just see them moving a little bit on the top of that surface. So that is our main focus, is looking at technologies, analyzing the direction that the marketplace is going in, and seeing, do we have products that we've already built, the technology that we've already put together that will allow us to benefit the most when the bull market comes back. The bull market may be 6 months from now, it may be a year from now. I think if it was a few months away, the FTX just kind of put a nail in that coffin, right? For it being sooner rather than later. So I think at this point it's more later. because of the FTX side of things and moving things forward there. So, but look, we need to help clean up this industry, guys. And what I'm saying is, you don't have to go beat up Sam Bankman-Fried, or you don't have to go and, yell at people or get nasty online. What we need to do is try to get as many people as we can to begin to understand the power of blockchain, the power of decentralization, and that they don't have to, sell the house, sell the cars, empty out the savings account, empty out their 401k, and pour all of it into crypto, right? And put, it's like going into the casino and putting everything on black and seeing if it comes up, right? No, slowly get into the marketplace. Look at this as a 3 to 10 year cycle, right? 3 to 10 years. I love looking at history, right? So Brian Schuster, founder of Otherverse, actually started in the internet space in the early 90s. Jeff Bezos, 94, 95. It really wasn't until 98, 99 that it really started to grab traction. These were people that were 3 to 6 years ahead of the equation there, and they benefited huge, right? 2000 rolls around, the crash of the internet market. Guess what? Way more money has been made over the last 22 years than there was from 95 till 2000 in internet, right? It's that long-term vision that we need to get people to understand, that technology that improves people's lives, that make things more efficiently, at the end of the day ends up winning overall. And that's why the internet won, right? Everybody thought that, the .com thing. There are articles, guys, that you can go find that called the internet a fad, right? When the bubble burst, it talked about it being a fad, that, its time had been, come and gone. But that wasn't true. And the reason why it wasn't true is because it made our lives so much better, right? The fact we're here on the Zoom, you guys have heard me say this 90 times now, right? The fact that Amazon comes to your house, the fact I can book a reservation, the fact I can go on right now online and I can see traffic reports, right? So, when I go into Mexico for my other business, before I go back to the border, I can go on my phone and go to a site and it tells me the wait time at the borders. There's no way I would have been able to do that without the technology and without the internet, right? I would have had to call Bob, who's sitting at the border, and go, hey, Bob, what's the line look like? I don't have to do that anymore because of the technology. That same technology, a lot of people talking to someone a few days ago, oh, yeah, looks like that Metaverse thing's not going to work, right? Why? Because Facebook is failing at it and not making the progress that we thought they would make because they spent a whole bunch of money. No, the Metaverse is coming. Why? Because it's going to be a more efficient way for people to be educated, for people to work, right? Work for home, efficiencies in being able to experience things that some people will never be able to experience, right? Because they'll never have the finances to be able to go do those type of things in a real-time setting. The ability for us to connect with influencers out in the marketplace is going to be dramatically enhanced by the Metaverse. Right now, nobody's gotten it right yet. We believe that we have the partnership, guys. This is why Nexus is so important. We believe, the core team and the members believe, we have members that believe that Otherverse does have the experience, the intelligence, brilliance, and the ability and the history to launch and be possibly the #1 dominant in the Metaverse over the next 2, 5, 10 years, not the next 2, 5, 10 weeks. And I think that us as people, that's what we get in our minds wrong. And I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse or the same drum. Guys, over and over and again, I keep going through this side of it. This is a long-term proposition, stardom. a lot of you guys on here own star babies. We are making progress every single day. Software is being built. Movie is funded. Script is being written. Discussions about that stuff. All of this stuff every single day is moving closer and closer and closer to the day when you can say, hey, I have this attribute. Yes, that works with my schedule. I'm going to go be in a movie. I'm going to go to a premiere. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to get to do this. And once it works, and we people understand and can see with their own eyes, because most people are not visionaries, okay? It's the reason why somebody will take an empty house and they'll pay somebody thousands of dollars to move in fake furniture, right? And set the house up and have you walk through. All of that costs money. It costs money to bring it there, rent the furniture, set up the furniture, tear down the furniture. Why do they do it? Because most people do not have the vision to look at an empty house and say, this is where my couch is going to go. This is where my TV is going to go. I love an empty house. Don't give me all this crappy furniture in the way. I don't want to see that. I want to see the empty house so I can plan out where it is I'm going to set up and put my stuff. But that's not most people. And so when you're thinking about this stuff, guys, know that we are putting the puzzle pieces in place, right? Partnerships, things that are going to continue to move us forward, continue to get us going. And I know if you're on the outside of things, it's like sometimes you think, hey, I wonder what's going on with TruBadger. I wonder if they're making any progress. No, guys, that there is a team of people working on these projects 7 days a week, right? Some days might only be 1 or 2 people. Some days it's 6 or 7 or 10 people, right? But 5-6 days a week, there's full team of between programmers and us, 30-40 different people between NSI and all the different projects and everything that we're working on. There is a whole slew of people working in the background 5-6 days a week, and 7 days a week. There's a few of us that work every single weekend as much as we can, or hours. I was on the phone with Corey last night. I think it was 11:30, 12:30 his time, right? And he was working away, designing things and putting things together. I talked to Dawn. I think it was 9:30, 10 o'clock her time, working still on this stuff, guys. So all of it, we're moving forward and getting there. You need to make the determination whether you want to hold it or whether you want to just, move on and go to another project. All I know is the one thing that FTX and the one thing that Luna and all of these things bring to light is community is freaking so important. It's the only reason why Luna is even still around. The second equation there is, who are the people that are behind it? You can take a great idea, and if you have a Sam running it, it can completely end up in the crapper, right? If you have people that don't have the experience, that don't have the knowledge. We've talked about this before, guys, is bringing in some younger 18, 20, 22, 23, 24-year-old people into the team and supporting some projects that have younger people running them. And that's all great. However, there's one thing that even the ideas and the exuberance of youth cannot do, and that is the experience of going through and doing this. I'm going to tell you guys that the .coms that survived the best were the ones that got funded by VCs, and VCs came in and put a seasoned veteran, whether that was the CFO, whether that was somebody who counseled, and it was the founders that listened to that advice that then ended up becoming successful companies and moving forward from there. It is no different in this space. No different in the day and age of blockchain. 20-year-olds are no smarter today than they were during the .com days, more than they were during the 70s, right? There's just something you cannot, and that is the experience of business, understanding finance, understanding that one day a bear market's going to come. And if you're putting your name on stadiums and you're sponsoring, paying, actors, 7 figures to be in your commercials, and running commercials during the Super Bowl. I got to be honest with you guys, when they had the Super Bowl, I don't think it was last one, I think it was one before that, when most of the ads were .com ads, it's pretty exciting to see it. But what you have to think about is, where did the money come from? The $8 million, $7 million to run that 30-second commercial, that money to put that Matt Damon in it, where does that come from? That money's got to be created somewhere. It's being created by fees. And in the case of FTX, they didn't have enough fees coming in to do it. So what did they do? Oh, we'll just use the customer's money and we'll go ahead and invest that. And we'll take risk on people's money that they didn't know that they were taking risk on. But I guarantee you they didn't start there. They started with, during a booming market, when a lot of trading was going on, fees were extremely high. November rolls around, market goes soft, fees drop dramatically. Oh, we need to keep this ship moving forward. And then they just start digging in and doing that stuff. All right. So anyway, guys, we're just going to keep moving things forward. If you have any questions, I've got about 4 or 5 more minutes. If anybody has any questions, they can put them in the Q&A. We're going to continue to move forward. Crypto gods are still moving forward. CNP still moving forward. Insight still moving forward. Safu Fight still moving forward. Catapult still moving forward. TruBadger still moving forward. Stardom still moving forward. Otherverse still moving forward. Still a relationship with Muon, and we're still working on those type of things. We have some new partnerships that we're going to be announcing here pretty soon. What happened to Safu Fight? Staking is still not possible, and its value is not shown in the wallet. Renee, better for you to jump on the Zoom. It's a scaled down model right there. And they can kind of explain to you what happened, what's going on, and all that stuff with that. Okay. So staking is so one of the issues, guys, is staking is a percentage of that. It's a tax on the token, whether it's being sold or buying. And there's just not a lot of volume, not just on our tokens, but on a whole host of tokens. Volume is down to very little. I think yesterday I saw on like TruBadger was $88 in volume. At 2% of that, you're talking pennies that would be available for staking if it was Safufied. So the volume is way down at this point, and that's handling it. But the best thing to do would be to jump on the Zoom, and then they can walk you through getting your staking set back up. It is back up and running. So you probably need some help there on that side of it. Okay. Let's see. How's Solar? You know what, guys? I talked to him. I think I updated you guys when I talked to him because somebody had asked. It's probably maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. They are still working on it. They're still moving it forward, market conditions and stuff. But I will do another follow-up with him, and I will have an update next week, next Tuesday on there. So if somebody can remind me to reach out to them and get an idea of what's going on there with that. So we'll get you guys an update on that next week. Any other questions? Corey, you got anything, buddy?
Chad asked in the chat, what about Green Citizen?
They are moving forward with the production on their stuff. We have discussed a little while ago, it's been a few weeks since we've talked with them about we are still planning on moving forward. It's just finding the right timing, because that doesn't do us any good, guys. We were able to sell about 1,000 NFTs with Stardom and get the movie funded through other mechanisms. However, the machines that we would be purchasing with Green Citizen, we will need to sell, about 1,500 NFTs to fund one machine. So we have to make sure that the demand is there, and that we have a marketplace to move enough of those. We do have some big influencers that have guaranteed us that they'll promote them. However, we also had that with Stardom. And what happened is we had people with 14 million. I know a lot of people had asked that question of, hey, what happened to these big influencers? Guys, the influencers shared, right? We had the basketball coach and his wife, 500,000 between the two of them. it just did not get a response from influencers that were not, and we actually had some influencers in the space that we did not get that response from. So we're working on that, trying to make sure that the next project that we do is a grand slam success and moving forward. MMAC, I know, guys, is allowing you to upgrade your NFTs. If you're looking for something that you want to do, you can upgrade that to a 3D character there. So they have some stuff going on with the mixed martial arts. That is still moving forward. I talked to Austin about a week ago, and they're working on some funding and different stuff like that to move that forward. Waiting on some updates on the film. And let's see, anything else? Any other questions, guys?
I do not see any more in Zoom or on YouTube. I think that is
Steve put in their new NFT series, Crypto Crook Punks. Boy, we'd have a lot of people to put on those NFTs, wouldn't we? Goodness gracious. We can put the 20 properties FTX owned in the Bahamas on each one of the NFTs, right? So who's going to
that
get
could fill up a few.
property? We could probably put, several other things on there that they purchased. We could do some that are political campaign contributions, right? Go break them down and who got how many millions of dollars. And you got, I got the NFT for Susan's, donation. Oh my God, from FTX,
Did he freeze?
I believe he froze, or I thought it was me for a second. Is it me or is it you?
No,
Sorry.
It's all of us.
Sorry, it's not me, it's you.
It's not me, it's you.
All right, guys, I think he's got to take off anyways, but thank you guys for joining us
does.
today. We really appreciate you guys. Stay strong, and the crypto cleanse is here, and we're gonna pull through it and have much success. So we'll see you guys out on social media. We appreciate each and one of you. Have a great day. Oh wait, Peter's got his hand up, so maybe I should bring him back in on a different device in case he wanted to say goodbye. But oh, there he goes again.
Oh, he's gone. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving,
Much
everybody.
love.
We're celebrating, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.